So, hi guys, welcome back to a new episode. We will be talking about how to mix drums on a Midas M32. So, guys, this is a live video, and you're going to experience me getting this mix raw from raw to being processed. So, this is a track I recorded last few months, and I plan to remix this with the Midas M32, and I'm going to show you exactly how I get that professional mix just with the board alone, no extra external plugins. So this is the effect on the board. I'm just using the EQ, compressor gates, and the reverbs found on the Midas M32. So I'm going to start in less than 1 minute. I'm trying to share this live video link to other people, so I want more people to be online so that they can be with us while we are mixing this from scratch to a professional mix. So guys, I'm running raw tracks from Cubase 12 to my M32, which we call a virtual sound check. So I routed these tracks through my card to my Midas M32, so I can now use my my board to mix this audio. Also, there are no processing on every channel. All channels are on zero. No processing applied at all. Can see over here. Sorry, you guys can't see this. So let's jump right into it. So I'm waiting for more people to join this live video so you can see exactly how I'm able to get that professional mix and how exactly what I do and the way I do my own stuffs. So I'm trying to share this live video. Okay. Copy the link, copy link. Then let's go down to my WhatsApp. I just want to share the link to people so people can quickly access, people can join in the live and watch, because I was supposed to schedule this live so that everyone can see how I'm going to get this mix from Behringer to a professional mix. So this is live. There's no editing. I'm going to see everything. I'm going to see the processes of how I'm going to mix this. So I'm currently trying to share this live link. So paste. Please share, like, comment. I wanted to have 3 cameras set up, but this is just 2 cameras. This is one for my webcam, the one that's looking over here, and it's looking over the screen is a Canon EOS 80D looking at my screen, so you can see exactly what I'm doing on my screen. So we're going to start in 10 seconds. So let me just get this guy. Let me just share this link. I'm trying to preview the link too, so I can make sure that what I'm doing over here is exactly what you guys can hear. I want to be sure my routing is good, meaning my routing on the board to my sound card, which is feeding the audio, my live stream audio, which you guys can hear. So let's get over it. Now this is a professional drums we're talking about. So this drum sounds good right from the recording. I recorded this track by myself. So this track, the raw audio sounds very, very good. So you guys can take a listen. Let me just play. Sorry, this is the overhead mics. can see how clean the drum is sounding just on its own, sounding very, very clean. So let's jump right into it. Let's start with our kick drum. That's what we always start with first. So over here to my kick drum, you can see no EQ, no compressor. Let's listen to it. Now, what's the first thing I think of when trying to mix drums or anything? First of all, you have to know you have to have a sound library in your head, meaning you have to know the way it's a kick drum sounds like. So you have to spend time building your sound library in your head, knowing how a funk kick drum sounds, the way a rock snare sounds, the way, because there are different kind of snares, there are different kind of kick drums. So you have to listen to different kind of music and keep those sound libraries in your head. You have to build a sound library in your head so that you can be able to always reference it. So if you listen to a particular track, so if you listen to this kick drum track, you notice it's sounding close to a kick drum because the way I think a kick drum should sound is like a basketball. You bouncing a basketball on the ground. That's the nearest sound you can put in your head and say, okay, this is a reference. This is how it's meant to sound like. So let's get this kick drum to sound good. So first of all, let's check our gain structure. If I solo this guy, it's currently hitting, let's say, minus 80 dB. That's very, very loud. But it's still good because I'm still going to do a lot of processing on it. So I might end up bringing down the gain. But let's play with our equalizer first and see what we can get with these tracks. Now, this is my kick drum. And mind you, you have to put on your headphones to be able to hear what I'm doing. You have to be on headphones. So this kick drum sounds good on its own. So if you check over here, there's nothing on the kick drum. There's nothing, no processing. It's raw. The guy that owns this drum, this is a pure drum. Like, he really invested in his equipment. So the drum is sounding very clean right from the board. So the first thing I want to do now is, I feel this kick drum is sounding very midi. I mean, in this low mid area. If you listen to this, let me use my band too. Look at this guy over here. Can you hear that sound? So I wouldn't say because of I don't really like it, I should take it all away. Every frequency adds to the identity of the sound you're listening to. So let's just go through the process. So the first thing I want to do is take out the mid range of this kick drum to make it tighter. So listen to this very well. Let me use my band 2 to do this. Just take a listen. EQ on, EQ off. I see it became tighter, very tight. Okay, the next thing I want to do is, I'm still hearing that low mid sound. These guys are funny. I'm on a live video, you're still messaging me on WhatsApp. I can't answer you at the moment. So this is so the next thing I want to do is my low cuts. I need to high pass this kick drum. So even though it's a kick drum, there are some, I don't want to say useless frequencies, some irrelevant frequencies that you don't really need to hear on your kick drum. So they are just there to make things muddy. Things like 20 hertz to 30 hertz or 35 hertz. You can't really hear them. Yeah, you can feel them, but you can't really hear them. So they are quiet. I don't say they're useless, but they are irrelevant. So why don't you just take them out? So the next thing I want to do is increase my low a little bit. And I think that's all. But since I'm using a kick in and a kick out, I know my kick in is for attack and brightening, so I want to take out the high end of my kick out a little bit. Then let's get it. Be very careful, don't be too aggressive while getting. Then I think I need to compress before gating. Let's switch off our gate and compress first. So the way I compress drums, my ratio is always 2.5. If you look over here, you see 2.5 over here. So my ratio is 2.5, and I just want to compress by -3 to -4 dB. So this is okay for a kick out. Let's check our kicking. Now the idea of kicking and kick out is your kick out is meant to capture the depth, meaning it's meant to capture the body of the drum, the low end. While your kicking is the mileage inside your kick drum, close to your beater head. So it's meant to capture this attack from the kick drum. So I expect my kick in to be more brighter and have more attack. So in order to not to cause phase issues, what's phase issues? Is all about timing of different frequencies. Now you have a kick in and kick out. Yeah, they are both together actually. So but your kicking is inside the kick drum, your kick out is outside, meaning there are two mics in different positions, meaning they are not in phase. The kick in is actually picking the kick drum before the kick out. Just 1 millisecond latency between the both of them. So what I have to do is just delay my kick in by let's see 1 millisecond, just one. That's okay. So this is my delay over here, because in the distance between my kick in and my kick out is not even up to 1 meter. It's like half meter. So let's just use 1.2 or 1.3 delay, milliseconds of delay, and let's just switch that on. Then let's go back to our kick in and let's listen to it. Can see our kicking is sounding fluffy, not tight enough, because the mic, I think the mic you used cannot handle much pressure. So in order to cause phase issues, what I like doing is I allow my kick in to play high end and my kick out to play low end. So let's just use a high pass filter to take out my low end for my kick in. Switch that on, then roll. I think I still need to go further, so I can use my low band, my band 1, switch it on. Then use band 2 to take out the mid, because it's still sounding boxy. I think this is okay. Let's take a listen. Let this track start from the beginning again. So fundamentals. If you watch my 1 hour video lesson, should have learned about fundamentals and why you have to work with fundamentals while mixing drums, because that's where the real identity of the drum is. So this is my kicking. This is where I want to mix it, just for high end. Then let's blend it with our kick out. So what I want to do is I want to get my kicking very aggressive, very aggressive. So my attack on 0, meaning because I want it to enter very fast and I want it to close very fast. So attack on 0, hold on 0, my release on 0, and I want to sidechain my gate, meaning I want something else to trigger the gate of my kicking. So I want my kick out to trigger my kicking. So what I'll just do is go over here to key source, then go to channel 1. So automatically my kick in is going to be triggered by my kick out. So it's my kick in that will my kick out will open the gate of my kick in. So let's compress very aggressive to 3 milliseconds, or let's just 2 milliseconds of compression, then release time very fast. Let's listen again. So this is how a kick drum is meant to sound. Now let's move on to our snare. Now I don't want to notice when we are mixing, we have to mix to what you're listening to from the overhead. You don't need to overdo or overexcite some frequencies. Let the real identity of the drum flow through. That's how to mix. So if I listen to my drums through the overhead, so that's the way I want it to sound, not like I want it to sound natural. So let's keep on mixing that way. You can see the way the snare is sounding. Let's go to our snare now. So this is our snare. So our snare is ringing, and I recorded it like that purposely because I was trying to achieve something. So let's back down the gain of our snare a little bit. I think it's clipping. So let's go. So let me switch on my kick. So the first sound is on my snare is high pass filter. Let's take out the low end to where the fundamentals is starting from. If fundamental is starting from above 200 Hz, so I'll just do a high pass filter to that 200 Hz. Then I can now switch on my EQ now. Then the next thing I want to do is just drop that ringing sound a little bit. So this is it over here. Very good. Then let's excite our fundamental. That means the loudest frequency that audio signal is producing. So this is over here around that's 295 Hz. Let's increase that. You can see the snare sounding heavier. The next thing I want to just do is increase my high end to make it more crispy. And mind you are mixing with me, you might not really notice the changes, the drastic changes from being raw to being processed. You might not notice it because we are both mixing together, so you might not notice those things. But somebody that will just jump in on this live stream and listen to this drum will say, wow, this is sounding really good. But you here with me, you cannot really notice because you are listening from when it's not being processed to when it's being processed. So that slight change, you might not really notice it because we are both mixing together. So let's continue our snare. So my snare is good, so I just need to do compression. Don't forget, on your snare, on your drum, just to compress 2.5. And attack time of like 18 milliseconds, so that snappy sound can pass through before it compresses. My release time all on default. So let's get. So this is good gating on our snare. Now let's check our snare bottom. This is where things become crispy. Like this is where this is one of the secrets I do when it comes to mixing snare. It's all about the snare bottom. I do some tricky things on the snare bottom. Now, what's the idea of a snare bottom? to pick that sizzling sound from your that chain, rattling chain under your snare drum, to pick it up and blend it with your normal snare. So you get a full what do you call it, a full identity of the snare drum, not just the head, because this how mic pick sound. Mics are very dumb instruments. The way you hear your snare drum is not the way the mic is picking it. The mic is picking according to signal to noise ratio, meaning what's the closest thing to me. So to pick that in more. But you far away from the snare, you can actually hear the full body of the snare, but the mic is close to the beater head, so it's picking the ringing sound instead of the full body. That's why you need an extra mic to pick up that rattling chain under the snare and blend with this thing. Now, I need my snare bottom for ghost notes. So first thing I know is I'm not getting my snare bottom. That's just the truth. I'm not getting my snare bottom. So let's listen to our snare bottom. So let me look for a place where he was soloing. I'll just look that place. Okay, let's go down over here. So this is where he made a solo. So just let me so the first thing I'm doing on my snare bottom is compression. When I mean compression, this is not our normal 2.5 ratio. This is 100. That means as it's eating, it's compressing. My attack time on 0, my release time on 0, my hold on 0, everything on 0. So what I'm trying to do is to squash that audio signal. So just listen to what will happen. You see, I'm squashing minus 18 dB. This is where the magic comes, because now my snare bottom now is picking every note in the same proportion. So that's why I'm compressing like that. I want you to pick every note in the same proportion. So if you listen to the snare bottom now, it's picking everything. So let's blend it into our snare drum. So that's the secret of getting ghost notes to sound well. So apart from compressing, let's do our normal EQing. Let's do our low cuts on the snare bottom to where the fundamentals is. And don't worry, if you're talking about phase relationship between the snare top and snare bottom, while recording, we've already flipped the polarity of the snare bottom to match the polarity of the snare top. So there's nothing like phase cancellation over here. So let's EQ our snare bottom. So the only thing I want to do is let's switch off our compressor first so we can hear it well. So I want to remove that boxiness from the snare bottom. So let's use our band 2 to just take out from 400 Hz to 1K, very wide. Then use another one to take out our high mid. I see the way it's sounding. And I cannot push my fundamentals a little bit, oh, just a little bit. Very good. Come back here. My low cuts, make sure it's shaping. Then, sorry, my hand was blocking the screen. You guys couldn't see that. I'm very sorry. So I'll make sure to be very careful so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. So let's blend our snare top and snare bottom together. Now after mixing this, let's bring our snare drum to life. So I have 2 reverbs over here. I have the first reverb is a normal 5 seconds decay time. That's very long. And I have a snare reverb over here. That's a decay time of 1.3 seconds. That's 1 second, 10 milliseconds, and a pre-delay of, let me increase my pre-delay a little bit. So let's send our snare into that reverb box and see what happens. So we're trying to bring the drums into live now. So we use reverb to bring things into live. So listen to our snare drum now. Very sweet, Abby. So this is how to mix your snare. So after bringing our snare to life, then I still want to send my snare a little bit to that long reverb, a little bit. Can you hear that long trail? Woo! So sweet. So let's keep on moving. The next thing is our hi-hats. Some people think this thing is easy. So let me start coloring them so that it will be easy to identify. So my kick, I want you to be green. My kick into green. My snare, I want it to be white. Two of them snare. So my hi-hat, I want my hi-hat to be, let's say, purple. So I can always note what is what. So let's go to our hi-hats now. So I think you have to go back to the beginning to where he was playing his notes. Like, so. Are you seeing how good my source sounds? So this is as a result of good recording. Everything is not mixing. Everything is all about a recording. If you record a very good source, mixing will be very, very easy for you. So let's keep on moving. So this is my hi-hats. So the only thing I'm doing on my hi-hats is just low cut to remove those muddiness. That's okay. And next time to do is just remove those sharp frequencies that what's in your ear. Things like 2K. Bring it down and go to my high end. Turn it to a parametric EQ. Then come over here. Then increase what I want to take out. Then so another quick hack, you can actually add a DSR on your hi-hat. So when it's playing those notes and he opens that hi-hat, that sharp notes, that DSR can tame it. You can also use a DSR. But this is just what I want to do on my hi-hat. No gating, no compression, just natural. So let's blend it with the rest of everything. Now, if you check our hi-hats in our overhead mic, you can see it's a little bit to the left. Listen very well. It's a little bit to the left. So that's because the hi-hat is actually on the left side of the drum. The kick is in the center. The snare is a little bit to the left after the center. So you have to copy what's on your overhead. So I need to pan my hi-hat to that stereo field too. I think that's it. Now, the next thing I want to do is add my overheads before my toms. And there's a reason why I'm doing that. Because when it comes to mixing drums, it's all about the overheads. Don't deceive yourself. So if you check your overheads, yeah. The only thing I want to do is just, let's see. Let me do my high cut first a little bit. And just take out my high end a little bit. And let me give you people a surprise package when it comes to mixing overhead. Now, if you look at your overhead mic is actually far away from the rest of the kit. That means your overhead is picking the kits later in time. So let's talk about your overheads now. Your overheads is actually picking is a stereo version of the old drums. It's not just picking the cymbals, picking everything, picking your kick drum, your snare, your toms, it's picking everything. So if you check well, your overhead is meant to be like face aligned with the rest of your kit, because your overhead is actually 1 meter away. Let's say 1.5 meter away from the rest of the kit. That means it's picking your snare drum in like 3 milliseconds later, because 1 meter sound moves by 3 milliseconds in 1 meter. That means I have to delay the rest of my kit by 3 milliseconds so that it can face align with my overhead. And that's what the pros do. So you don't just think mixing is just all about what they call it, just EQ, gating, compression. When it comes to face aligning, this is what these guys do. You understand? To get a very tight drum, because everything is face aligned now. So there's nothing like a smear or anything. Everything is tight. So let's do that. Let's delay all our kits by that's on configuration. So let's delay all our kits by 3 milliseconds just to match it overhead. So let's start with our kick drum. 3 milliseconds on the dot. 3.0 delay my kick in. Now my kick in now will go from 3 milliseconds to from 1.4 to 4.4 because we're adding 3 milliseconds. That's 4.4. 4.4. So this is a lot of maths going on. Our snare to 3 milliseconds. Actually, we don't need to really delay our kick. Let's switch off the delay on our kick drum. Let's change this back to 1.4. Let's do our kick drum. Our kick drum is far away from the overhead, so there's no need for delaying it. But my snare drum delayed, my snare bottom delayed 3 milliseconds. Don't forget. Bang, bang. Then my hi-hat to 3 milliseconds delay. So this thing is a secret. Now many people don't know. My tom 1 3 milliseconds delay. My tom 2 3 milliseconds delay. My tom 3 3 milliseconds delay. My floor tom 3 milliseconds delay. Then what else? My overhead will be on 0. Since it's that's where we're dealing everything to, that's the time base. So let's keep on going. So let's work on our overheads now. So track is starting again. So this is our snare through the overhead. Then so we can now send the rest of our kit to that same reverb a little bit. My hi-hat and my overhead too by just a little bit. So you might not know we've gotten so far. So if I blend my track with this whole thing now, you see how much we've gone in mixing and how good this sounds. You will not know because we are mixing this together. So let's see. Let me mute my track. So let's go Shift B, going back to the beginning, then play. Can you see when we switch on the track? You can see the reverb going to the snare reverb became low. That's because when mixing, you have to mix with every other thing. So I now know I need to increase my snare going to that reverb a little bit. So let's do that. So again from the beginning. My kick need to come up a little bit. Yeah. Let's send our track to that reverb a little bit. Can you see how much we've gone? But you didn't know. So now, just like this, just playing this to somebody, the person will be like, wow, you're a very good mix engineer. What do you just do? Just simple EQ and gating. It's all about the source. If your source is not right, you can never get a clean mix. That's just you do. It's all about the source. So this is what the console can mix. You can see everything I did. This is the kick out, kick in, the snare top, snare bottom. What else? The hi-hats. If you can remember everything I did, this is overhead. So nothing much. So it's all about the input. If your input is not right, you can never get a clean mix. That's just the truth. You need to learn how to record. Recording is all about the recording. It's not about mixing. Now you're only surprised at this mix because you're wondering, okay, so this is even how we do it. But you go back to your church or your studio and you find out that you can't even get this mix. It's not because you're not following my own style. It's because your recording is bad and your equipment is bad. Once you are using a very good equipment, everything is very easy. You see, I didn't make too much EQ curves like that. Just few technical and surgical EQs on everything. So let's go to our toms. This is the hardest. This is the hardest. Let me move to my overhead, to my tracks. So let's go to where it was playing. So so let's move over. This is where he was playing his tom. So let's go. So tom 1. You can see how clean this sounds. Like the recording sounds very clean. See how, and also mic placement. Some of you just place mics anyhow and you think mixing will help you. Can't help you. See how this floor tom is sounding. See, this is raw. Now, no processing. This is raw. So it's all about the recording. Now, what some people don't just understand. If you're asking me how I'm able to get a very professional mix, it's the recording. It's not it's no secret. So let's mix the toms now. Let's start with tom 1. So don't forget about your fundamentals now. This is your tom 1. We need to gain it a little bit. It's coming in very low. Very good. So if you can check, this is where our fundamental is. That's 200 and what? That's 216, no, 224, no, 232 adds. That's where the fundamental is. So I need to boost that fundamental. So there's something I do too. Sometimes I don't boost that fundamental exactly. I would go down a little bit. Just listen to what it do. Are you seeing how heavy it is? So instead of boosting that fundamental itself, I went down a little bit. So the next thing I want to do is that mid sound. I want to take it out. This is it over here. See, I cannot just explain how I know that is it because maybe it's because I've mixed this track before. It's just I'm using my eyes and the RTA to read exactly what I'm saying. So let's keep on going. So I've taken out that MIDI sound. The next sound is low cut. And maybe a little bit of cut my eye mid a little bit. And I know some of you just rush and start adding high end because you want the tom to be very bright. Tung, tung, tung. So there's what we do over here. So if you check overheads, are you seeing there's early attack from the overhead? So you don't need to actually add more on your toms because forgetting that when you get your toms, after getting your toms, there's sometimes you play and the cymbals will enter your tom. So like if once you're exciting and giving or creating, shifting the face of the EQ, you start creating some other things that were not there before. So you start hearing this kind of bleeding from the toms. So even if I switch on my overhead and I don't get my tom, it still sounds good. Watch. I see. But when I increase my eye of my thumbs, watch what happen. It sound good though, but it's beginning to affect the tone of my overhead. So you have to, mixing drum is not just all about just making that source to sound good. You have to make that track sound good on every what do you call it? Like they have to sound good together. It's not just about that source, about just getting that source to sound good. It has to sound good in the mix. So this is just what I want to do. The next thing I want to do is just get it a little bit. Now, when it comes to getting toms now, things get tricky again. If you check these toms very, it has the peak, that's the transient, and it has the resonance. That means that's the sustain. So if I overget, I'll take away that identity with that stretchy sound. So I know that even though my attack time is on 0 milliseconds, I can always increase my hold to stretch for the amount of the time the tom takes. I want that to pass through. So watch what happens. So I cannot get. I can see my snare is triggering my tom. I need to shift a little bit further. So what if my hold was on see I just reduced my hold to 44 milliseconds. I see how fast it's going. So that's not the way your thumb sounds. You need to take your hold to like 300 milliseconds. So the whole thumb can pass to before the gate closes back. So let's compress now. Compression normal 2.5, then minus 3 dB. And when it comes to compression, I don't have a particular timing I put, or maybe my attack time is on 10 or this one. It depends on how tight or how loose those toms are. If the toms are very, very loose, my attack time is very, very fast so that I can shape in it. So, but if the toms are very, very tight, I can leave it like to something like 20 milliseconds because it's sounding very tight. So the values I put in here on my overheads, on my toms are always different, even on my snare, depending on how tight or how loose it is. So you have to learn how your compressor works. Nobody will teach you this thing. You have to be with your laptop in the house and sit down and keep on trying different things, listening to. Although you need to understand what attack time means, you need to understand what threshold means, you need to understand what hold means and what release is and what ratio is. And it's very simple, very, very simple. But it's, let me not lie to you, it's hard. It's not simple. It's actually hard because I knew when I was also trying to learn about attack time and threshold, it was sounding very tricky. So the threshold is just like, at what volume do you want me to act on this signal? You understand compressor is something that's it's like a wall. You understand that kind of thing? Like a wall that doesn't allow some certain things to cross some certain volume. So that threshold is, where is the wall? At what volume should you compress? That's what the threshold is. Should you compress at if you look at this signal now, it's coming in by -6. That's very, very loud. So if you look at it very well, if I set my compressor time to -5, it will not do anything because it's not, the threshold is not set to that like the threshold is not entering where the audio signal is, the metering of the audio signal. So you need to really drop your threshold to where it starts compressing. So after the threshold is when should it compress? Like what volume should it compress? So ratio is how much compression do you want to do? So how much input and how much output? So if you hear something like 3.1, it means, I'll just give you a reference. It's not really accurate, but when something like 3.1, it means you can allow 3 dB to pass and compress 1 dB. If you hear 4 dB, you can allow 4 dB to pass and compress 1 dB. So if you hear 4.2, you can allow 4 dB to pass and compress 2 dB. So I'm just giving a reference. That's not really how it works, but like a basic knowledge of, or like in a way you can actually understand. So let's keep on going. So I like this compression. Let's go to our tom 2. So what I just want to do is, instead of wasting my time and mixing everything, I can just come over here to my library, and my library, I want to save this tone 1 settings and just save it. Come down over here. Let's save it to an empty. This is save. So what I want to do is I will load everything without their configuration and their name. So I want to load the gate, compressor, equalizer, and send to main. So watch. So let's load on my thumb 2, on my thumb 3, on my floor thumb. Now let's check our floor thumb, our thumb 2 now. So our thumb 2 now, you have to understand that the fundamental of my thumb 2 is different. So you have to shift the fundamentals down, back. So and my low cuts. You are seeing our thumb 1 is, our thumb 2 is a little bit dull. So let me take out, bring back my eye mid a little bit. So let's see our compression. So this is good compression. Let's check our thumb 3. Let's see how fast. So let's shift our fundamental down to red. So this is it over here. So I need to drop down the gate of my thumb 2 a little bit, on my thumb 3, sorry. Let's check out, the last thing I want to check is our floor thumb. That sounded very good. So let's get this back. So you can see our floor thumb is very stubborn. It's kind of a whole lot of things inside. So I need to drop the gain of my floor thumb a little bit. I need to take my gain a little bit up, a little bit. Very good. Again, a little bit. That's very good. Now let's keep on going now. Let's keep on going. So let's listen to our thumbs to the overhead. You can already listen that it's already pan naturally. The thumb 1 is sounding in the left, thumb 2 is sounding a little bit to the left, then thumb 3 is in the middle, floor thumb is in the right. So listen to it again. Are you seeing that already? So let's unmute. So we need to replicate that natural panning. Just my thumb 1, my thumb 1 a little bit to the left. That's let's go back to send to main. So pan to the left. If you can look over here, you see it panning. I see it's panning. So a little bit to the left. Then that's too much to the left. Let's keep on going. Then my thumb 2 like this. Then my thumb 3 a little bit to the right. Then my floor thumb all the way to the right. Not too much. So let's keep on going. So my thumb 3 is sounding over compressed. So I need to increase the attack time a little bit so that I can let more of those this thing to get into it first. I think it's just low in volume. Let's see. Now, after doing this, let me show you guys what I do. Let me just unmute everything. You can see how good it sounds. So let me show you another secret. Another thing I do is I send my toms, my whole toms. If you check my toms, I'll send it to a stereo group. So let's create a subgroup. Let's link our tom one, our boss 1 and boss 2, and change it to a subgroup. Confirm. Then send our toms inside 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Then remove all our toms from the main stereo bus. So everything now is passing through that distance. So let's listen again. I see my toms are not coming again until I push this bus over here. So I need to send this bus to my main. Now I cannot add like a stereo group compression on my toms. So that's what I do always. So let's compress our toms. So what I'll do is I want my toms to compensate for each other. So my ratio will be very, very will be on infinity. That's full. Then my attack time will be on 3 milliseconds. Then my release will be on auto. That's what I want to do. So let's listen. So let's send our toms to that group a little bit. So what I'm supposed to do is I'm supposed to send my toms back to a channel so that I can send that channel to the group. But I just want to send the toms straight to I just want to send the toms straight to from the channel straight to the reverb instead of from that bus. So I just want that bus, but that's what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to send my toms back to a channel, then send it to the reverb. That's where it's meant to be. So let's send our toms to that reverb a little bit. Then let's add our track. So I need more brightness. I can actually increase the brightness of my head and take out the harshness. Are you seeing what I'm doing? So my kick need more low and more pump. You guys see what happened over there? The gating on my tom was too much, on my floor tom was too much that it was actually playing and it wasn't entering. I was hearing the floor tom through all that. So I need to drop down my gate a little bit down. Then let's keep on playing. Let's go back to that solo. So now I cannot add brightness on my tom since I feel it's too cold. Now I can now add more brightness on my tom. So let's just do that a little bit. No, that's too much. I need to add around. I need to check where the fundamentals is. So I'm not just doing things anyhow. I'm just looking at my RTA. So I'm mixing with my eyes and my ears together. keys around there. That's actually the floor tone. This is what I was talking about when you overexcite some frequencies. So I'm seeing the overhead passing through the floor tone, and it's causing this kind of bleeding. Let me play it again so you can listen. You hear that? Shh, 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 shh. That's the floor tone. So what I need to do is just on the floor tone, I need to drop my hand on the floor tone a little bit. So even though it's passing through, it's not going to be that visible because I've brought down the head. So let's play that again. This is still sounding like a normal overhead. So that's mixing drums. So the next thing I want to do is just master this drum. So what I want to do is these old drums now. On my main boss, let's go to our main boss, which is nothing. So let me do a little bit of mastering. I can also come here and see some effect I can do. Effect on. So let's go down to this place and add a stereo compressor. So let's go to dual leisure compressor. Let's see this. I've never used this before. Let's put it on our main left and right. On our main left and right. So many people have been asking for this video, so I just had to do it. So insert it on my main board. So let me take a listen. See how all of you are just watching. You selfish people. You cannot share this live video. You guys are meant to share this live video. Share this live video before I end it now, because you guys have learned a lot. Share this live video. Share it to your status. Share it to your broadcast list. Share it to your friends, your audiophile friends. Share it. I'm waiting for you guys. I'm really waiting. I want to see more views. I want the number of these views to increase. Before we continue, because this thing I'm doing is not many people that tag themselves or guys don't really do this. So they know how to do things, but they don't show people. So they're just I don't say they are I don't say they are selfish, but it's just I feel like when you have something, you have a knowledge, you have to impact other people. That's my own natural that's my own opinion. I'm not saying everybody should be like me, but come to think of it, when you know something, I feel like you're meant to share it and give people. Actually, I didn't even use any effect on this track. I'm just trying to put this guy on my main boss. So I'm looking for a limiter. So compressor, DJ compressor. Let's use this. Okay, let me see this precision limiter. I've never used all of this in my life. I've never used them in my life. So let me check it again. What is this? Input gain, output gain. Okay. Let me play my track and see what it's doing to my tracks. Yeah, it's working. So what I'll do is my output gain, pull out my output gain into bit, then my input gain. Let's keep on going. So the way you master is the essence of mastering is you want your track to sound very loud and at the same time very consistent, and you want it to sound good on every playback device. So that's the essence for mastering. So the way mastering is done is you put a limiter on your main bus, then you add another limiter, then you add an equalizer, a filter equalizer. So what you're trying to do is the first limiter is meant to take out some extremely loud notes, bring them down, and the release time on that limiter is 500 milliseconds. So if you check this guy is actually on 600 and something, let me change it down to 500. Then you want to increase your track so that when it reaches the ceiling, the limiter will actually compress that in real time. The attack time is actually on 0. So to bring it down and push it downwards, and so that you're trying to squash your dynamics so that you can take the whole track louder. So, but when you're trying to go loud, if you check my meter over here, although I didn't do a lot of gain staging from my mixer to what they call it, to my sound card, I didn't do a lot of gain staging to actually match the game, but it's all well. So the aim is, if you look at this meter over here, this is your meter, the aim is to push your tracks to reach 0. Now, it's not meant to cross 0. Once it crosses 0, it will start distorting. You understand? When I mean distorting, like real-time distortion. So, because 0 is the loudest decibel we can measure. When you go above that 0 to start squashing the signal, I didn't get the point. So, you have to be really careful. So, my attack is that 0. But now I can't really do that because if I push this guy, it's going to affect my sound card, and I didn't really do gain stage, and it's going to make my live stream clip. So let me just do it over here and just make it sound good. So let's keep on going. Now the insert is actually before the EQ, so I'm trying to put another one on my main bus. This is my normal this is my normal compressor. I can actually turn it to a limiter. So what I'll do is take my attack time to 0 milliseconds, then take my release time to the 5 milliseconds and my hold to 0. So I've changed this to a limiter, and my ratio will be on 100. Then come down to my sorry I'm moving very fast. I don't want you to see what I'm doing. That's just truth. So I want you to watch this video again, so you come back and keep on watching until you get it. Because yes, I took a lot of time to get it. So this is my knee. The knee on 0, so it's become very, very sharp. So let's go back and play and see what it's doing, and bring down our threshold to the point it's beginning to compress just minus 2 dB. So this is all what I want to do. I can now do later. I can do a little bit of EQ to make it sound heavier. Let's do that. So let me I wish I had a dynamic EQ on this Midas, but we don't have dynamic EQ. That's why mastering is very hard. So I'll just do normal static EQ and just take out those harsh frequencies around 8K, bring them down a little bit by minus how many dB? Minus 3 dB. Let's play. The now frequency that hurts the ear, that's around 2K. Let's bring that down a little bit. Then muddiness, and 200, 400 is not really needed. Not really needed. I'm just doing it because I want to do it. Then I need to take out 160 hertz. I will never tell you the reason why we like taking out 160 hertz. It's a secret. Let me just give it to you. They call it low end separation. So when you take out 160 hertz, so it will give your low end and your high end separation. So your low end is sound clear and your high end is sound clear. Then let's push our low end a little bit. Let's push 40 hertz, that deep frequency. So let's listen. Then we can now use our last band to increase that high so that it can be crispy. Our floor tom is still bleeding, so let's take it up with you. That's on our floor tom. Listen and enjoy. Track is too much. Let's take that a little bit. So guys, that's how to mix. You successfully watched me mix with this Midas M32, not with so many consoles, so many distance. So that's everything for today, because it's not that easy. Please share this live, watch this live, and in case you have not watched the main video,